now part 2 of my interview with Secretary of State Hillary Clinton.
I want to bring your attention to something that President Obama said in his inaugural a little more than a year ago.
We will extend a hand if you are willing to unclench your fist.
Has Iran unclenched its fist?
No.
How about North Korea?
No, not to the extent we would like to see them. But I think that is not all to the story. Engagement has brought us a lot in the last year. Let's take North Korea first, and then we'll go to Iran. In North Korea, when we said that we were willing to work with North Korea if they were serious about returning to the six-party talks and about denuclearizing in an irreversible way, they basically did not respond in the first instance. But because we were willing to engage, we ended up getting a very strong sanctions regime against North Korea that China signed on to and Russia signed on to, and right now is being enforced around the world.
Did the extended hand of the U.S. help in any way that
it did,
you can point to?
because we extended it, a neighbor like China knew we were going the extra mile, and all of a sudden said, you know, you're not just standing there hurling insults at them. You've said, all right, fine, we're willing to work with them. They haven't responded, so we're going to sign on to these very tough measures. Similarly in Iran, I don't know what the outcome would have been if the Iranian government hadn't made the decision it made following the elections to become so repressive. But the fact is, because we engaged, the rest of the world has really begun to see Iran the way we see it. When we started last year talking about the threats that Iran's nuclear program posed, Russia and other countries said, well, we don't see it that way. But through very slow and steady diplomacy, plus the fact that we had a two-track process. Yes, we reached out on engagement to Iran, but we always had the second track, which is that we would have to try to get the world community to take stronger measures if they didn't respond on the engagement front.
I want to turn to Haiti for a minute. We're in there with a lot of people. They're doing a lot of talking, and what they're finding is Haitians saying, we wish the American government would come in here and take over, because they don't think their government is capable in the post-rescue period of rebuilding Haiti. What's wrong with that idea?
You know, Candy, I'm very proud of what not only our country has done, both our military and particularly our civilians and our new USAID administrator, Raj Shah. Everybody has just stepped up and performed admirably. So have other countries. This has been a global response. But the fact is, there is a legitimate government with authority in Haiti, despite
really
the fact...
weak government.
Well, the fact is that we were working with them before the earthquake. One of my goals as Secretary of State, which the President agreed with, was for us to work with that government and try to help them implement a national development plan. And we have spent a lot of time on that. In fact, what's so tragically ironic is that literally the night before the earthquake on PBS, there was the NewsHour had a long segment about the progress that was being made in Haiti under this very same government. Unfortunately, all of that was upended by the earthquake. What we're doing, along with our international partners, is to work with the Haitian government so that there is a mechanism for coordination. They have to be part of it because they have the legal authorities. Unless a government or a bunch of governments is going to occupy Haiti, which would have all kinds of very unfortunate implications, we have to help support the Haitian people and their government. There's a lot of talk going on, a lot of conference calls flying back and forth, the trip that I made to Montreal for the conference, and I'm confident we're going to come up with a system.
UN envoy to Haiti, whom you may know.
I do know.
I'm just curious how that works exactly. Does he give you reports? Does he call up and say, hello, Secretary of State? And really, who's the boss here?
Well, you know, he was appointed, again, months and months ago and was working on the private sector. He had brought hundreds of business people from around the world to sign contracts to employ people in Haiti. And now he's been asked by Secretary General Ban Ki-moon to continue and enhance his role because of the earthquake. He talks to the people who I work with. He doesn't, you know, it's not me. It's Rod Shah and Cheryl Mills and the other teams.
Oh, he doesn't say, give me the big kahuna here?
No, I mean, he talks to people who are, you know, really working on this 24 hours a day. Obviously, we talk about it, too. Sure. We have a special place in our heart for Haiti, having gone there during our honeymoon many years ago. And it's a place that is captivating. The people are so resilient, and they deserve so much better than what they've gotten over their history, and I think Bill is committed, as I am, to doing everything we can.
If you were to say to the American people, this country is the most dangerous to Americans and to the U.S., where is that country?
You know, Candy, in terms of a country, obviously a nuclear-armed country like North Korea or Iran pose both a real or a potential threat.
And you're convinced Iran has nuclear?
No, but we believe that their behavior certainly is evidence of their intentions, and how close they are may be subject to some debate, but the failure to disclose the facility at Qom, the failure to accept what was a very reasonable offer by Russia, France, and the U.S. through the IAEA to take their uranium, their low-enriched uranium, and return it for their research reactor. I mean, there's just it's like an old saying that if you see a turtle on a fence post in the middle of the woods, he didn't get there by accident, right? Somebody put him there, and so you draw conclusions from what you see Iran doing. But I think that most of us believe the greater threats are the transnational, non-state networks. Primarily the extremists, the fundamentalist Islamic extremists who are connected, Al-Qaeda in the Arab Peninsula, Al-Qaeda in Pakistan and Afghanistan, Al-Qaeda in the Maghreb. I mean, the kind of connectivity that exists. And they continue to try to increase the sophistication of their capacity, the attacks that they're going to make. And the biggest nightmare that any of us have is that one of these terrorist member organizations within this syndicate of terror will get their hands on a weapon of mass destruction. So that's really the most threatening prospect we see.
Up next, Secretary Clinton on the Obama administration's policy of engagement, where it has and has not worked. Also, personal reflections after a year as the nation's top diplomat.
We have a common task and a common challenge.
Why can't we see that we are all in this together?